A number of red states in the U.S. have passed certain fetal harm bills, and Tennessee is just one example of them. However, Tennessee is very specific about what they want to do to women who use drugs when they're pregnant. Now, they charged a 26-year-old by the name of Mallory Loyola, that's a hard word to say, but Mallory Loyola, with assault after she gave birth to a baby girl. Now, the reason why they did that is because a few days prior to delivering her baby girl, they did a drug test on her, and she tested positive for meth. Now, the Tennessee law that actually allows people or authorities in the state to charge her with assault says the following: a woman may be prosecuted for assault for the illegal use of a narcotic drug while pregnant if her child is born addicted or harmed by a narcotic drug. Now, in this particular case, her baby was not harmed by the narcotic drug. Yes, there was a positive drug result or drug test result for meth. However, meth is not considered a narcotic. That doesn't mean that you should be doing meth while you're pregnant, but if you look at the specific wording of the law, the first victim of this very, very flawed law is someone who didn't do what the law specifies that someone needs to do. So Loyola tested positive for methamphetamine and admitted that she had smoked the drug several days before giving birth. Meth is not considered a narcotic, which is a legal class of drugs that refers to opiates like heroin and prescription painkillers. Now, according to Lynn Paltrow, she's with the National Advocates for Pregnant Women, there's no injury, there's just a positive drug test. Now, some of you might be wondering, why is it that I'm outraged by this story? Why is this a big deal? There are a certain number of people in the country who are addicted to drugs and then they happen to get pregnant. These are people that need to go get prenatal care. These are people who need rehabilitation. When you pass laws that criminalize people who are addicted to drugs while they're pregnant, they're not going to go to the doctor. They're not going to get prenatal care. They're not going to go get rehabilitated because they're going to get afraid of getting prosecuted and thrown in prison. So this is a faulty law because it focuses on criminalization as opposed to rehabilitation. The certain knee-jerk reaction when we deal with anything involving drugs, narcotics, anything that makes us uncomfortable because of all the propaganda that's been fed to us because of this drug war.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree, like, when I try to imagine, you know, like, say I was going to have a kid with someone, them taking meth a couple of days before giving birth, like, maybe just think you need to, like, push harder and faster or something, so you need a chemical kick, but that just seems awful. You wouldn't do that. But, like, this surely isn't the end point of this class of law. You don't think there are some conservatives that would love to do the same thing with, say, marijuana or something like that? There's no end of the chemical substances that conservatives in this country don't want to be allowable. Meth today, well, not even, in fact, meth today, just narcotics today, but certainly they would want to add meth to this. But like, there are all sorts of things that you can consume while you're pregnant that could do harm to the baby, like drinking, smoking, caffeine, eating sushi. Like, should you add those to the bill? I know. They all increase the harm to the fetus.
It's exactly, and that's another thing. It becomes a slippery slope, right? Because, and it's totally understandable. They want to start off with drugs, narcotics. They're really worried about the baby, and I think that the intentions of people who pass laws like this are good intentions. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt in this case, right? They shouldn't criminalize the mothers, but they're so worried about the baby and the fetus that they're going to go out of their way to prosecute women who are addicted to drugs. But if you're genuinely worried about that baby, the best thing that you can do is get that woman help. You don't criminalize them because then they're going to be afraid to go to the doctor. They're going to be so scared that they're not going to get the help that they need and the care that they need to ensure that the baby is healthy. But again, there's a long list of things that women shouldn't do when they're pregnant. Are we going to start adding those things to the list of situations that we can use to criminalize them?
No, I love that you bring up that it's going to stop them from going and getting that very necessary care. And certainly over the long run, you're probably going to have kids who are born unhealthy, perhaps even some that are lost because they're not getting the sort of medical checkups that you're supposed to be getting during the course of your pregnancy. It's another in a long list of things having to do with sex and pregnancy where conservatives say they want one thing and then like teaching kids, you know, about safe sex and things like that, how many fewer abortions we would have if we did that instead of just abstinence only. They say they don't want the abortions, they don't want the policies that would actually lead to fewer of them. The HPV vaccine and things like that. They want that sort of deterrent to people having sex, even if it leads to women getting HPV and some of them dying from cervical cancer. It's a mixed up Stone Age morality. It's no wonder that it doesn't actually work in a modern world. And this is just another example of it.